Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston, host of the Sugar Ray Show, here with another incredible episode with another esteemed guest, one of my favorite people, man. This sister is dynamic. She's brilliant. She does true hard work in the sense of building community, right? Like, people do it just to do it, but she does it because this is who she is. And today we're going to get into it. This is Aleeia Abraham. I'm going to get into
Yeah.
her bio, and then we're going to talk to her. So Aleeia Abraham, digital marketer and social organizer. Aleeia Abraham is a skilled digital marketer, event producer, and social organizer whose primary focus is to elevate, develop, and support emerging creators, businesses, and brands. Using her proficiency in social media and leadership, she is best known for founding the BlaQue Resource Network, a highly engaged collective of over 25,000 people in Queens, New York. The group is dedicated to organizing Black businesses and communities through health and wellness, education, civic engagement, and local economic growth. Through the BlaQue Resource Network and other projects, Aleeia has produced various events and programs online and in person, including workshops, festivals, community service, and networking opportunities. Aleeia's exceptional service and contributions have earned her recognition and accolades from several esteemed individuals and organizations. In 2020, Queensborough President Sharon Lee declared August 10th as Black Resource Network Day in Queens, recognizing Aleeia's remarkable efforts in building community. Aleeia was also named one of the 100 most influential people in Queens by City and State magazine in 2021. Most recently, Aleeia was awarded by Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz during their February 2022 Black History Month celebration, which is a testament to her unwavering commitment to fostering a local ecosystem of mentorship, support, and partnership. Aleeia's dedication to entrepreneurship continues as she prepares to release an upcoming book on how to register your business in Queens, New York, which is set to be published in the summer of 2023. Incredible bio, incredible track record, incredible resume you've built.
Cool.
Aleeia, my sister, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good today. Today's a good day. I got a lot of work done today. I have my schedules planned out for the evening. I'm good. Today's a good day.
Nice. Happy to hear that. So let's get right to it. All
Yep.
right. How'd you get into this work? How'd you get into digital marketing and social organizing? What came first? What led you there? And then how'd you blend them?
Let me think about that for myself. So I guess it started I was a singer first. I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
right
you're an incredible singer too. You ain't even
now.
put that in
I was
there.
a singer first. I don't know what happened, where it went. But I was a singer first. And I think I was naturally an organizer because like I can even remember being 9 and 10 years old and like telling making flyers on paper and telling my friends and family to come in the backyard to hear me sing. And my parents were always very supportive of that, right? My dad would buy the
Nice.
hot dogs and he'd be on the grill and
Nice.
everybody paid a dollar and they come in the backyard to hear me sing. Whether I was good or not, I don't know. But for whatever reason, I was always able to build trust with people
Nice.
and to influence how they spend their money and their time. That's always
Mm,
something I was good at. People trust me because it's all about trust, right? And,
mhm.
and maintaining that trust in your community. So whether I was good or not, people just always say, well, all right, Aleea's putting something together. She's a positive person. She's 10 years old. Let me go to this backyard, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of how it started. And then I went to Queensborough Community College and I majored in music theory. And
Nice.
Queensborough gave me a lot of opportunities to organize. I don't know if it was that specific, who was the president of the music department at that time, but they gave me a lot of power and resources to organize on campus around music. Right? They they
Nice.
they had. I was in charge of. I was the president of the music association. I got to choose what equipment the studio had. It gave me money to put on musical performances for the incoming freshmen. So I got to take my fellow students and organize on campus. My grades weren't that great, but again, it wasn't. They were good in music and they sucked and everything else. Yeah, and
It be like that.
another space where people just kind of trusted me
Mm.
because of my reputation to how they spend their time and their money. So from there, I did music for a little while, and that's just like nobody going to music. I just don't do it. Just don't go into the entertainment industry. It's terrible. It's brutal. But what I did learn from it is that there were no. It's not. easy to get opportunities, especially in the beginning when you're not that good or you're not that known. So you have to kind of make your own. So I just started putting on my own showcases and my own concerts and planning out these. I'm not gonna call them fake tours because they weren't fake, but like just reaching out to people in Detroit or LA and getting little stupid shows that it's not worth me going out there for. But I was able to put together little tours and kind of make it make sense, right? I spent a month in LA and I spent 2 weeks in Detroit and just doing the little tiny clubs. It was maybe 10 people in a room, but I was able to put that together for myself. And it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about organizing. It taught me a lot about tour planning. It taught me a lot about building a following. So from there, I got fed up with not getting a deal. And I started just kind of continue with my shows. And then I just started helping my friends. And then platforms like, MySpace came out, but then like Instagram.
MySpace.
I'm that old. Then
Me too. We there.
Came out, and I don't know. It was just I study a lot, right? And I was able to really, really master Instagram for my friends who continued in the arts. So from that, I got really good. Like I was taking my friends from like 1,000 to like 10, 20,000, 30,000 followers just from concentrating on Instagram. So other people just started hiring me to manage their account. So from the artists have no money, but the social proof that I was able to build with doing artist Instagram, I started going to businesses.
Powerful.
So I was in this community board meeting one day, and somebody was like, I need somebody to manage. It was Titus from Panache. I need somebody to manage my social media page. And I was like, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Nobody ever paid me to do it before. But he was like, cool. Again, like Titus never said, let me see your work. I don't know. It's just people just like
trusted you.
You sound like you know what you're talking about. Yeah. There you go. So I started doing like small businesses. I did Panache. I did like this wedding planner lady. I did Sydney Sweets. I did Inspire Magazine. And I was able to like make a living off of just managing people's Instagram page. So that taught me about social media. And then I was always active in my community. I go to my civic meetings. I go to my community board meetings. And my family is West Indian, right? So in Southeast Queens, there's the West Indian organizations and then there's the American organization.
Yeah, it is.
I was going to both. And they never seemed to know about what each other would do. And I'm going to this one and I'm like, they're already planning that. And they're like, what are you talking about? There was no bridge there. So being, West Indian American, I was able to kind of bring information between the two.
Nice.
So I had that. So then all of a sudden, my long story, all of a sudden, I was in a group called Black Long Island, and I love Black Long Island. Shout out to that group. And I saw the way that they decided they wanted to organize the Black people, in Long Island. One day they made a post and said, we have to organize this properly. And we're asking that the Queens businesses and the Queens people can't post in here anymore because we need to focus. Because when you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. Yep. And they just said that we're not doing Queens anymore. And it was this big uproar in Black Long Island. And then from that, I was like, well, I'm going to just put up one for Queens since everybody's so mad and maybe something will happen. And I put it up. And within a week, we were at 300 members. And, 3 years later, we're at 25,000 members. So that is how it kind of came to being, little Aleeia, to the founder of the BlaQue Resource Network. And because I was already active in my community, people joined. I wasn't starting from zero, although it looked like you start from zero. Nobody sees the 10 years, 20 years, 30 years work before that. Yep. Because of all that work, here we are, and I get to be on Sugar Ray's show.
Yes.
So that's my long story.
That's incredible. So let's appreciate you. So let's go back there, right? Let's talk about,
because that was a lot.
That was a lot, right? But it was great. Right? I want to go to working with the businesses on social media.
Sure.
What was the biggest challenge going from not being paid to do it, right? But just doing it for your artists, for your creative friends, to now being paid, right? That's a jump from doing something for free to doing something now. You're getting paid, there's schedules, there's businesses. What was the biggest challenge in that for you?
The biggest challenge for me, it's like every it's not a formula. Like, it wasn't my friend singing on Instagram was more universal than, say, like a restaurant, right? So
Mhm.
figuring out that it's not the same approach, and
Mm.
now somebody's trusting you with their money,
Yeah.
and now you gotta you think you know, but you don't. You know how to press the buttons on Instagram, but do you really know how to market a business on Instagram? And
Mm.
there's a difference, right? So learning how to tailor different strategies for different business, because music was way different than businesses, and I don't think I realized that at first. It took me a while to kind of figure out what a new strategy was,
Mm.
because I was hyped. I was like, it's easy. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. There was a lot more learning that I needed to do.
Mhm. And what do you think the biggest learning curve for you was?
Um, learning how I don't even know. It was just hard. Learning how learning how to meet my clients' expectations. There was no expectations with my friends.
Mm.
Like, I was doing it for free. They didn't,
Yeah.
whatever, right? Somebody's, it don't matter. But meeting clients' expectations and making sure that they were happy. I never had to please anyone but myself.
Powerful. Powerful. No, that's powerful. So now let's go forward again. Um, you were in Black Long Island, right? You got fed up. They kicked everybody from Queens out. Right? That was right before the pandemic, correct?
It was. It was before. It was the August, and the pandemic hit February, March.
February, March, right?
Yeah.
How did throwing yourself into building a Black Resource Network, how did that change your life personally?
The BlaQue Resource Network is like a 24-hour thing. Like, it's just always on, especially in the early days when I didn't know what I was doing. Like, you approve a post and you're like, eh. And then you wake up in the morning and thousands of people are arguing. There was a lot of that in the beginning before I understood, like, how to control my community.
Mm,
It was like we were too loud at a time.
yeah.
So just and then also realizing early on that, just like Black Long Island, like, we're not for everybody, right?
Yep.
You're for your audience. So when you try to please everybody, that's when you're ineffective. So learning that early on, that even though we're for Black people in Queens, we might not be for all Black people in Queens. We might very
Mm,
well be for a certain type of Black person in Queens, and understanding that and being okay with not
mhm.
everybody likes the space.
Absolutely. And is that the biggest challenge? If not, what would you say has been the biggest challenge in building? Because you guys, I mean, I participate, I
Yeah,
support businesses in there,
yeah,
I share
yeah,
stuff in there. I love the group.
yeah,
I see it as part of my family.
yeah,
But obviously there are challenges. What has been
yeah.
the biggest challenge
That that that
as you got into 25,000 members?
Yeah, the biggest challenge is that we don't, there was like this expectation that we're going to fulfill everything. People will come to me like, you don't do anything for Black men and mental health. That's
Mm,
not what we do. You
mhm,
don't do anything for, you have all these people in your group, but you're not doing enough of this, and you're not doing enough of that. It's
mm,
never what I committed to do. I committed to organizing a space where if you have something that you want to share, you share it,
mm,
and promoting Black business. That's what I committed. So not veering off of what I wanted to do is
mm.
difficult, because people feel like, since we have so many people in that group, we can solve everyone's problems. And I can't.
Not
I can't.
possible.
It's
Mhm,
impossible. And understanding that this might solve a small area in someone's life is not gonna fix everything. We're essentially a media outlet, right? We get
yep.
information out faster than probably most outlets in Queens, New York, to
Yeah, you
people, and
do.
that's what I want to do. I don't
Powerful.
I don't
So
want to do anything else.
no,
I
that's
haven't
incredible.
committed to anything else, right?
That's incredible. So talk about how you built the team, right? Because
Yeah,
it started with you, started with
yeah,
how did
yeah,
you build the team? Because the team is also part of how it grew so much. So
absolutely.
how did you select
Yeah.
people to be part of the administration team? What went into that process?
I mean, I started with my closest friends.
Mm,
Dane, we owned a art and design studio in Queens Village at the time. So he
nice.
was an easy one to throw in. Actually, he was really what initially sparked it as well. So the Black Long Island thing went down. And then I remember the past conversation that I had with Dane, where he mentioned that he always wanted to start some kind of small business spotlight I think he wanted to do like a magazine called Jamaica Avenues, right?
Mm.
And he wanted to start that highlighting the building on Jamaica Avenue. And we had a conversation. Ha ha ha! Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. But when the Black Long Island thing came up, he was the first person I thought of. Like he's already in, thinking about something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So let me add him on. So I added on Dane, and he does a lot of our graphic design. And then I added on Letitia. I've known her for 30 something years.
Nice.
So I added on the people close to me that I knew were already dedicated to community. And I kind of built from there. After that, we had people in the beginning that are not here right now.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
And then I started just putting out feelers in the group, like people who were active members and asking them if they wanted to be a part of it and how they wanted to be a part of it, and just kind of pull from there and try to identify people that had just different strengths and different qualities.
Nice.
And here we are.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about that, working with your friends. As you
Sure.
know, in the hood, Black people say, don't work with your friends, right? Your friends always let you down. Don't work with people close to you. Don't work with family. You can't mix that. But you leaned in with the opposite approach. Why? How did you develop that personality, right? And like, what made you commit to that, particularly working with those closest to you?
Sure. I would never say don't work with your family and friends. You're not gonna work with all your family and friends, but you got to identify people that have a similar mindset. That you do, and why you're friends, right? Some people I'm friends with because we like to eat at the same restaurants. I'm not going to ask them to manage the BlaQue Resource Network. Some people I'm friends with because we go to the same community meetings. Maybe I can see there that you have qualities that would be great for helping me manage a group. So it's identifying the strengths in the people around you and managing your expectations for them. Just because you're my friend doesn't mean that you're gonna help manage this project. You also have to have a business mindset, community mindset, a money mindset, education mindset, and the things that I'm looking for to build my space. So being able to just look around and see how you can lead people that are already kind of in that direction.
Absolutely. Did that mindset come from your family, your upbringing, or where did you develop that mindset?
Yes and no. So there are qualities that my parents instilled in me, hardworking, education, loyalty, community pride. Absolutely. But I think I took that and kind of reshaped it. I think what my parents did was give me a stable, healthy home. So I had the opportunity to explore what I was good at. And I know a lot of people don't have that, and I'm grateful to have that. I didn't have the major stress of, well, you got to make money right now because you have to survive. We didn't grow up so much in survival mode. So we were able to kind of look around and see what we were good at. Also, my parents were very supportive of anything that you're super interested in. Like I said, my dad was frying hot dogs. You know what I mean? So they were very encouraging as long as it made you happy, and being happy was a really important piece of us growing up. So I think those are the things I got from my parents, and able to build this group because I had the space to do it. And I'm very grateful for that. And I do understand that everybody doesn't have that opportunity.
No, absolutely. Like just the space to think, right? The space to think freely, to think freely about ideas that are outside of the box is something that too many of us take for granted, right? So let's stay there for a minute, right? So how have you, because with working with anyone, friends or not, challenges arise, differences in opinions arise, differences in strategies, execution. How do you manage that? Like, what is there? Like, is there a specific blueprint that you guys look to, or is it just as it comes up, you figure it out and communicate? How do you navigate that?
I mean, it's understanding that they trust me as well. Like I'm not gonna say I don't have final say, because I do, but I take their ideas into consideration. And I need opposition because maybe some things that I'm not thinking about. But we do understand that. I mean, I do. I'm not gonna say I don't. I have the final say, and they understand that, and they respect my vision, and they understand that I'm here to support your vision, Aleeia. I don't have a clear vision for this. I see things that I can do, but I'd say most of my team understands my vision, and they respect me as the head, right? And I respect them as the team. And I have to listen to them when they're like, no, this is not right. Or I have to say, no, I hear you, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. And them saying, okay, this is what I see, Aleeia. But if you think this is the right way to do it, okay. And I have that kind of team that is just that believes in me and trusts me. And I'm grateful for that. We get into it. We do.
Nice.
But I think we also understand it's our feelings. Like, I'm not bringing that shit back up tomorrow. Sorry for cursing the show. I'm not bringing that back up
No, it's
tomorrow.
all good. It's all
We
good.
had this disagreement yesterday. There's no hard
Mm,
feelings. It's not
mhm.
personal. And we've
Nice.
never been like that. Like, I don't
Nice.
expect we disagree about merchandise today, and I call you later to go get something to eat, and you're not on. Like, never. That's never happening.
Nice, nice. No, powerful, so powerful. Let's talk about staying with the BlaQue Resource Network.
Sure.
What has been the biggest highlight for you, right? What has been the thing that has made you the most proud in doing this
Oh,
work
yeah.
the last 3-4 years?
I could just tell you the biggest thing that happened in the BlaQue
Okay.
Resource Network. Excelling Church put together this protest on Jamaica Avenue, Code Black. And we were invited to come out. And like it was one of those, like, this is a classic like television show story. And we're in the march,
Nice.
and I'm filming, and everybody's there, and they did I mean, it was packed. Jamaica Avenue. We were just walking down, and we were doing our protest when George Floyd died.
Got
And I
killed.
looked at my phone, huh?
No, I just said got killed. He didn't just die.
Yes, it got killed. Correction. Was murdered. Right.
Murdered, absolutely.
Right. He was murdered. So we're marching up the Ave. I looked down at my phone. I've been filming all day. I looked at my phone. It was by about 3%. And I was like, all right, well, let me just waste it out. Let me just film and waste it out. My husband was with me already. Everybody was with me. So there was nobody that needed to reach me. So I said, reach it out. Timing is everything. So at that point is when the captain in the white shirt kneeled. So mind you, everybody has their phone out at this point. But the difference between me and most of the people in the crowd is that I had a following in the BlaQue Resource Network. And I didn't go live on my page. I went live in the group. Back then, we might have had 5,000-6,000 members. I went live in the group. That live in the group got over 1 million views. We only had 5,000 members.
Powerful.
People we had 1 million views. CNN contacted me to put the clip on. Good Day Australia contacted me to put the clip on.
Wow.
Germany contacted me. Wow. I was on a Japanese television station, Fox 5, ABC News. Everyone took my clip and put it around the world. It has about 10 million views at this point. And it was just maybe, I don't even think it was 3-4 minutes. Yeah. But because I had the following and I went live in the group, they shared it to eternity. The governor shared it. Everybody shared it. So from that 5,000 members, we got 10,000 new members. And we only take Black people from Queens. We had maybe 50,000 new people trying to get in the group just because they saw the clip. Oh, we love, we stand in solidarity from Australia. We stand in solidarity from Israel, from Ireland, but they can't come in the group. So that was it was such a proud moment for the BlaQue Resource Network because it showed that we don't have 5,000 members. We don't have 25,000 members. We have 25,000 people who can be our our voices who can share this to the world. We have 25,000 people that can help get any message out, your message, 100%. My message, anybody in the group. So it's not, our group is so much bigger than the people who press join because they can share it out, right? So I think that's the point that I realized that the group was needed and the power of community being on one note, one accord. So that was probably my proudest moment. Shout out to Ty Hankerson and Pastor Solomon from Code Black because they made me famous.
Hey, shout out to the crew. Shout out to the crew. No, that's incredible. That's incredible. I think the first time, so I had heard of your group, early 2020, mid 2020. Yeah. I think the first time I met you was in I think in Queens and Woodside with Queens Together, and they were doing a rally for food.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
That was another piece that made that took the group into a couple of thousand members when we did the partnership with Queens Together.
Mm-hmm. How important is collaboration, and then how important is the food movement to you personally?
Sure. So Queens Together, I met them on Instagram, and I remember we met them because they were, they were doing this Queens Together, and I was like, but you're not doing anything south of Jamaica Avenue, and they were like, you're absolutely right. And they were very receptive to it, and from that one message on there, they were just like, it's not that we don't want to be, it's that we don't know anybody south of Jamaica Avenue. So we partnered, and they were able to give me for 22 weeks 1,000 boxes of fresh produce to distribute in Southeast Queens. So 1,000 boxes is 1,000 families, not people, families.
Yeah, families.
Families. So just from that, I was able to build so many partnerships, because I would take whatever food we didn't give away, I would take them to the small businesses so they can use them and save money. I would take them I would drive around, and other volunteers would drive around and give the food to like homebound seniors or the senior centers, or, so we were able to take that, because food is money, it's valuable. We were able to take that and build so many other partnerships, and build so many connections with people who didn't know what to do during the pandemic and just wanted to come outside and serve the community, but didn't have a way to do it. Food justice is just something that we don't really talk about enough, because during the pandemic, it wasn't about I was poor, I couldn't afford any food, at least not in Laurelton, Rosedale, and Springfield Gardens. These are houses. They generally make a lot more money than other parts of Queens. But when you went to Stop and Shop, there was no food. So I don't care how much money you had, there was nothing there. So us bringing these fresh boxes of, tomatoes, onions, eggplant, plantain, ginger, seasonings, potatoes, whatever it was, to the communities, it was about access. It wasn't about, you couldn't afford it. So it changed the conversation about food. It's like, we're here and we're making the money, but we still can't get the fresh food. So, and why is that? And bringing up those conversations. So it opened my eyes a lot, because I didn't realize that it was such a big problem, because our lines were never about you can't afford it. We had a DJ out there. It was about stay healthy. Black people are dying in COVID. We're trying to help you just stay healthy. And I think taking away that energy from, because I volunteered at a lot of food pantries before and after that. And sometimes people are kind of complacent and kind of don't treat them right. They treat them like they're poor, and here's some food, poor people. So I think we were able to just take that away. You can make $0, you can make $100,000. This food is for you. So that was an important piece, and I want to be able to continue work like that. That's important to me. And COVID really made me realize, and my partnership with Queens Together really made me realize how important that was in my community. And we live in houses.
Yeah, no, that's so powerful, right? It makes me think of, what we do here in Western Queens, Long Island City, Astoria. One thing I do is understand that food is a tool. Food is an essential tool to building community.
Yes.
Right. Because it's about bringing
conversations.
It's about bringing people together, having conversations, getting to know people, building a trust, building relationships. That's how we improve the conditions in our community. Right. So let's talk here real quick. Right. So you've been doing this work. You've been all over Queens. You've been all over the city. Obviously, you've been in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
You've done a lot. What has been the biggest challenge that you've seen in connecting Black people around any issue?
What is the biggest challenge with connecting Black people? I mean, we all know that there is a mindset problem in America. And we all know that in some way we all contribute to the white supremacy problem issue in America, because we've been programmed to do so. So it is difficult when Black people don't even value Black people, and when they don't even realize it. So I make it a point to just change the mindset, or do my best to change the mindset of how people think. A lot of times people don't do something because it's the right thing to do. They do it because it's the cool thing to do. So I think a lot of the Shopping Black initiatives in my group are successful because it's the cool thing to do, and people see other people doing it. So they're like, I want to do that too. I don't think they really understand the impact, but that's okay. We'll get to that. We'll build on that. Do the action first, and then we can figure out why. So making, Shopping Black and volunteering the cool thing to do, because one of my favorite saying is nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. So people kind of get FOMO and like, well, I want to volunteer. I want to shop Black. And we've gotten a lot of things done with just kind of making it a habit and making it what we do. But that's difficult because I'll put up a post and saying, hey, I want to eat a burger today. Or where should I go? And they're like, there's a great Italian spot in Long Island. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, no, I'm looking for Black owned. Well, you need to say that. I did. It's the name of the
group. It's the name of the group.
It's the name of the group. So people automatically still don't understand what we're doing. Automatically, they'll go to a non-Black owned business like that. Yeah. So getting people out of that habit. People don't like to be corrected. So getting people out of that, there's a mindset problem that I can't. You know what I mean? Like I try my best. And the people who don't really don't get it, just they can't be in the space, because when you have that one little poison,
it spreads. It spreads. It grows. Like they say, one bad apple, right?
Yeah,
does spoil the bunch. You got one bad apple in a fruit bag with other apples. Eventually, they're all going to become spoiled.
Identifying those bad apples and getting them out. And that was another thing too, because I never really wanted to kick any Black person out. There's some guilt with that. Because you're like, just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean you don't need to be here, or don't mean you don't offer other value. So we haven't really kicked out that many people. Like I can't say we kicked out 50 people. I can't. Maybe 50. Maybe 50, and that's over like a long time. But they really deserved it.
No, people are weird, man. People are weird. People do weird things. And sometimes, right, one thing, I've realized is that it might not be consciously, but sometimes people just in their nature are contrarian and counterproductive to progress in a certain way, right? They may not intentionally do it, but just because how they were raised, just because how
they live in America.
They live in America, like you said, they're contributing, they've been conditioned and indoctrinated with this.
And you're asking them to throw away everything they've learned for their entire life. And that's not going to happen so easy.
100%. So let's talk a little bit about some of your personal highlights, right? The awards, the accolades, right? How do those affect you, right? So I'm gonna say this real quick. I remember when I got my first city proclamation from Jimmy Van Bramen in 2012 in Queensbridge at a Black History Month event. It was cool because I had family there, I had friends there, right? First time being honored by the government. I only been home from prison at that time for like 5 years. I only changed my life for like 3 years. It was just pure energy. I was able to get some of the young hustlers to come see me, right? Who I used to hustle with, I was in the streets with. But it didn't mean much to me at that time because my friends were still being killed. My friends were still going to prison. I'm like, this award means nothing. Cut a check, right? If you want to help change, cut a check. But one friend told me, shout out to Big Uptown. He asked me a question. He said, how many people do you know with proclamations? And I was like, whoa, I had to think about it.
Right? I don't know nobody.
Right, I had to think about that. So now they have a different meaning. I think sometimes I would still prefer a check, right? But I still take them understanding that somebody watching me sees that as, as success. So how do you view those awards, those accolades from borough president, from, all of these people, Queens DA, and all of those things?
Just like how you said it, I understand that people need validation, right? So there are a group of people, not everybody, but there are a group of people who value those elected officials' opinions, and they don't have time to vet you and see if you are trustworthy or you're influential. So they rely on other people that they trust to validate you. So I take those awards as validation, and I'm able to bring up those when I'm in meetings and I, I know council member such and such. They awarded me in such and such. Well, yes, August 10th is BlaQue Resource Network Day, and they're like, wow, right? So that validates the people who are cutting the check. Sometimes they need to know that other people like you, that they like. So I take that as I have to figure out how to make those proclamations bring me checks. That's my job, to figure out what's the path from this award to getting money from my community. And that's kind of where I am. And my community needs to see that all the work that I'm asking them to do, that it's correct. They need that validation as well. They need to see that other people outside of their community value me. and think my
100%.
work is good, because sometimes people don't know what to follow. It's good and bad that, we're followers. It's how we're built, right? So is it, again, is she cool? Right? Yeah, she's cool. Okay, good. She got an award. She must be cool.
She must
Right?
be
So
cool.
yeah, I'm gonna listen to her. So that's how I take being awarded, as just proof that my work is valued by a group of people, and using that group of people to figure out who they're connected to, who have money.
100%. 100%. No, and that's crazy because I know the concept of network marketing gets a bad rep, but that's exactly what that is. That's working through your network, right?
You have
That's
to.
have a network, have somebody specific, and it's not about you, but who can I get to through you? Who do you
Yep.
know
Yep.
that also may like what I'm doing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And offline, I'll tell you a crazy story, a crazy breakfast I'm about to have with. It's like about to be a dream, right? We're about to go all the way up because of just that right there, right? Being at an event with one organization, meeting another person through them, and then reaching out to that person who can help in so many ways, right? So I think you understand that perfectly, right? Let's get into you again. You wear a lot of hats, right? You are a mom, you're a wife, right? How does all of that blend? Nice. Blessings. Shout out to the fam.
Yeah.
How do you manage all of that? How does all of that tie in, right? How do they inspire you, motivate you? What are the challenges with blending BlaQue Resource Network, blending the social media, blending all of these things with also being a mom and a wife?
Yeah. So it's being intentional about my time and being intentional about what I decide is important today. So having a schedule is I have to, or I just be on Instagram and Facebook all day. You can scroll forever and don't even eat, just scrolling and fighting. So being intentional about my time, and understanding when sometimes I have to drop things to do things with my family. My family has to be first. And understanding that anybody that's trying to build a movement, whether that's, starting an organization, starting a new job, running for office, whatever they're doing, if your family is not healthy, it won't work. It'll just destroy your family, right? Because it can make you better, or it can make you worse. But your family has to understand and agree with your decisions, right? If my family was just like, BlaQue Resource Network, you're not spending time with us, I have to listen and figure out how to balance both of this, and they have to be okay with how I spend my time, or it's really not going to work. I worked on some campaigns, and I've watched some campaigns, and I can tell you, because that's a lot of my experience. No way am I running for office. I'm not saying that because I'm running for office. You always take that. But I noticed that the campaigns that with healthy families can do so much more than the campaigns that it was a little bit shaky, or the people that I know that are successful in their career. Having that healthy family is necessary for me, at least, on what I've seen, examples that I look at, to building a movement or being successful really in any way. So always checking in with my husband, always checking in with my son, and spending intentional time with them, I think, is an important piece for me.
Powerful. Now I want to go back a little bit. You're singing. So you started singing again recently a little bit, right? You've been doing some
I did? No, I didn't.
You put together the Black Choir, the Black, what is it called?
Oh yeah, we got rehearsal today at 6. Yes.
See, right. So so again, I know a lot of times when we have talents at a young age and we develop them and we get thrown into certain work as adults, we forget about our dreams, we forget about our deep talents, right? Our deep passions. How did you blend that, mend that, and keep that fire, and now able to translate it into doing it not only for yourself but for the community with the group?
It always just comes back accidentally. Like, I forget that people know that I sing, and then they'll ask me this question. I'm like, oh yeah, right. It always it's not even me. I think it's the people around me always remind me that I have this, and encourage me not to, take it for granted, or, push it to the wayside. So it's my friends and family that always kind of bring it back for me. And it's my happy place, right? I sing all the time. So they're like, you're gonna shut up. If you're not gonna do it, shut up. So I always try to sneak ways in to kind of bring that back to the forefront, because I listen to music all day, I sing all day. It's really important to me. So shout out to my friends and family for never letting me forget that.
Yeah, yeah. And now talk about the group that you created and like how did that come about specifically? Because I think the first time I saw it, it was like a holiday or something like that,
Yeah,
and
we started a holiday
and
choir.
you just put a post together
Yeah,
asking who wanted to
yeah,
be a part
yeah,
of it.
yeah, yeah. You know, another great thing about the BlaQue Resource Network and me understanding the power of, niching down and digital marketing. My son is going to try to talk to me while I'm on it right now. They
Of
never
course
want
he
to talk
is.
to
It's
me.
okay. It's okay.
You can have the piece of chocolate. Yes, you can. His dad is right there.
But mommy's online. Mommy's
Well,
busy,
mommy's online, so
and
I
I
gotta
gotta get
ask
mommy's
her if
attention.
I can have this piece of chocolate. No
Absolutely.
problem. We started as a holiday singing group,
Mhm.
and they wanted to keep going, right? So I didn't want to understanding the power of kind of niching down sometimes, and making groups within my group. We have Black Mind and Body, we have Black Career and Employment, we have Black educators, and just there's a group of people in BlaQue Resource Network that want to sing like me. They either were past singers or it's something they do with their hobby. We get a lot of retired people who just want to sing. So we did a lot of stuff for Black History Month, and we're gonna do a lot of stuff for Juneteenth. I'm excited for the Juneteenth night market that's coming up, and Black Voices will be there. We're gonna be singing.
Like
So
voices.
Black Voices doesn't even know it, but it really gives me that Tuesday and Thursday time to just focus on music. And just our group is not about who sounds the best or who's the loudest, or you got to hit the right notes. I'm not going to say we don't hit the right notes. Right? You got to hit the right notes, but it's
You
more
gotta be able to
about,
sing.
yeah, you got to hit the right notes. But it's more about community participation. We try to do sing along songs and get everybody. It's like fancy karaoke, right? So it's like everybody gets to be a part of it, and we get to fulfill a space in people's lives that are like me, that have a passion for the arts but don't always get the opportunity to tap into it, and you know makes me happy, makes them happy.
Absolutely. I want to stay right there real quick. So you mentioned something specifically, the arts, but
Yeah.
then you're also doing activism because you're taking
Yeah.
the arts to use, well, you're using the arts to push a
Mhm.
message,
I
right?
am,
How,
absolutely. It's still
how
to push the message of the BlaQue Resource Network, right?
exactly.
We go out and after they saying that, we hand out our flyers, it's just another vehicle that we use to push the message of
Mhm.
social organizing and Black entrepreneurship in Queens, New York. It's the same. All of the groups, Black Mind and Body, it's to push the same message, but maybe you hear it, maybe you hear it through music, right?
Yep.
Maybe he'll hear it through it got his son a job. Maybe he'll hear it through talking about, we have a book club talking about the book, and just keeping the brand in people's mind, and just in different spaces, and kind of surrounding them with it so they can't forget about us.
Well, absolutely. So one thing I've noticed, as we've been friends, as we built this friendship the last few years, um, with the development, with the heavy development in Southeast Queens, particularly on Jamaica Avenue, it seems as if, from my viewpoint, you've strengthened some relationships with Black businesses in that
Mhm.
area,
Sure.
right? That's intentional, or that just, it just happened to happen, or did you intentionally, as other people were moving in, that gentrification was happening in Southeast Queens, did you intentionally say, I'm going to hone in on developing these partnerships with these institutions that already exist before they are gone?
Yeah, I think it's partially intentional. I don't think I saw this level of success. I didn't think that this was possible, this level of success that we've had. I don't think I saw it this far. I think
Mm.
it was something that I know needed to be done, so I tried to do it, and then it worked, and then it's like, oh shoot, it worked, right? um we get so many different type of reviews. This businesses is like, Aleeia, you don't even know it. BlaQue Resource Network has made me, $100,000 last year, $200,000 last year. And that's one
Wow,
business, right?
wow, wow,
And then we get
wow.
people like, I wasn't even thinking about starting a business, but I see how you guys support businesses and how I can get a customer base just using your group, and I can build an entire business
Off
based
your group.
on the type of reception I see businesses get in your space. And I decided to start this business, and I posted it in your group, and now I'm able to make a living for my family just because
Wow.
I was inspired by the way people, yeah, I need hair braiders, I need a hair braider, I need a makeup artist, I need some hamburgers, and the way I see people in your group support Black business, it changed my life. I was able to quit my job, and I was able to start
Mm,
this business. And I always get excited when people are like, I made this amount of money, and they say it, because
incredible.
it's like the awards. It's an award.
Yeah. Yeah,
It helps
yeah, it
people
is.
believe in what I'm doing. I wish I made $200,000. Let's say from the group. That's okay, because
That's
it's
okay.
more important to me to help other people do it before I do it. Right?
Yep.
I can't be first. That's not what my mission is.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I mean that's
No,
it.
you know what's crazy about you mentioning that, right? That's it's crazy how in sync we are in that way, because that's my mindset as well, right? We're doing this work. It's like it's more important for certain friends, for certain family, well,
Has to be.
everybody in my
You got to
community.
know who. You have to know whose turn it is, right? And what that
100%,
means. And
100%, and
my job,
patience.
yeah, and my job is to rally the people and tell them it's his turn.
Yep,
Everybody, make sure this
yep,
works.
yep,
It's her turn. Everybody, make
yep,
sure that works. And they're like, no problem, let's do it.
yep. And that reminds me of something Maya Angelou once said. She said, you know, what I get, I give. What I learn, I teach. And so
Yeah,
you learned that, and now you're sharing that.
yeah,
And what I found, you know, on my side personally, is that when you do it like that, eventually, when it's your turn, it's going to like be
sure,
expeditious
sure,
growth in
sure.
the way that you need it the most, which a lot of
Yep,
times is financial, economic,
yep,
right?
yep.
I want to talk about, if you can, right? A lot of things are changing economically,
Yeah.
right? From the dollar, you know, to the coins.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any strategy for BlaQue Resource Network that you're implementing or learning and studying to help businesses shift in that way?
So you're asking me how BlaQue Resource Network are helping businesses shift?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a specific method for businesses.
Okay.
Honestly, I focus and I think most people don't realize this. I focus more on Black consumers
Yep.
and
You
telling
do.
them to shop Black.
Yeah, you do.
And then an offset of that is, getting, that helps the businesses. So and if somebody does have a way, tell me what to do. Like, tell me what to do. And I think that's another thing that I want people to know, that our leaders, like, tell me what to do. My job, in no way am I saying that I have the answers, but
Yeah.
I have the people who listen to me.
Yeah,
So if
you do.
somebody has a strategy or an answer, just let me know, so I can
Mhm.
tell people this is what we're going to follow behind. So I'm looking for those
Okay.
answers as
Well,
well.
I can connect you with my nephew, man. My nephew is really good at that. He's helping me figure that out, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's helping me understand that whole shift in economics, you know, in
sure,
America.
sure.
Right? Because I think too many times, you know, Black people
We
particularly
miss out on opportunities.
we miss out on opportunities just because we don't have the information.
Yep,
People
yep,
don't share the information, and
yep,
sometimes just because of lack of education, we don't
yep.
understand it when it comes. So we
Sure,
definitely need someone or groups of people to sit with us and to explain it to us and
sure,
to show us, right, how
sure.
it makes sense, why it's happening, and what we can do to adjust.
Mhm.
No,
And there's a lot of
this is
people that do
incredible.
have
So
solutions. There's a lot of people that do have solutions, but they might not have the voice that I have. So I'm counting on
100%.
them to, like, come to me and let me know. My responsibility is getting the word out, and I'm here for that.
100%. So tell me some things that you're excited about. You know, we got Juneteenth coming up. You know, there's a lot of things going on with BlaQue Resource Network. What are a few things that you're excited about in the next few months?
So I'm excited about my book. That
Yes.
yes, SBS and QEDC, Queens Economic Development Court, have commissioned me to write a book on how to start a business in Queens, New York.
Clap it
And
up to
it's
that.
not even like a crazy
But
book.
it doesn't matter. Clap it up to
Yeah,
that.
you know what I
Understand.
mean?
Wait, do you understand what you said? You said QEDC and SPS commissioned you
Yeah.
to write a book. That's powerful in itself, my sister. That
Yeah,
doesn't
because
happen.
again, another example of, I never wrote a book. They never even said to me, like, can I see your writing? They just was like, I don't know. I trust you. Go ahead. So I'm writing a book. It's going to be, it's also animation in it. There's little storylines in it, little
Powerful.
characters that starting businesses and going through their problems, and somebody's helping them solve it. And then there's the meat of the book that's really going through the steps. And then I have some templates at the end and some checklists and some awesome things that I put together, and I'm going to put it in the book. I'm just about done. We need to finish the animation piece. So it's probably going to come out sometime in mid to late July. And it's a free book. QEDC is going to print them out. We're going to get them out to different business organizations around Queens. Now, the interesting part of this is that this book is not specifically for Black people in Queens. It's for all of Queens. So it's bringing the BlaQue Resource Network brand as the model for everybody around Queens, right?
Fact.
To say that my experience with the BlaQue Resource Network can be a model for other communities. So I think that's an important piece, that, you know, we're bringing this borough wide. It even has the potential to go citywide. I really would love, while the book, you know, I'm super Queens, so the book is about opening your business specifically in Queens. But it doesn't mean that that can't be a model for other communities everywhere. So I'm excited for this to come out, and hopefully it can lead to other opportunities. So that is super dope. Then we got the Juneteenth night market coming up, which is one of our biggest events of the year.
Yeah,
It is going to be really, really good.
I'm excited. I'm so mad. I'm not eating. I'm fasting, so I won't even be able to eat. But I'll come to hear the music.
You should, because we're working with vegan chef Ashley. We're gonna have vegan roll. Dang, man.
30-day fast, man. 30-day fast. I won't be able to
wrong
eat
time.
Yo,
have vegan rolls. So we're definitely gonna make sure that the vegan community is eating well along with everybody else. But it's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have 50 to 60 vendors out there.
Nice.
You know, we're gonna have roller skating, and we have the open streets permit for the street. So we're going to have the sprinklers open and the roller skating in the street, and the performances and the drummers. And we were able to get this lady who's not from Queens, so I'm not going to say the borough she's from. Is it fire breather or fire eater? She does all this fire
breather.
Fire breather, this beautiful Black woman who's gonna come out and do some amazing show for us. We were able to get a sponsorship from Manhattan Brewing Company. So there's a small little garden across the street from where we're having a festival. So we're turning that into a wine and beer garden. So we're gonna have some brands out there. We're gonna have some Black-owned brands and just doing samples, and you get to taste all the different Black-owned brands. So that's going to be amazing. And then our normal stuff, our double dutch, our eating, our shopping, our DJ, and it's just going to be an amazing event. And I'm really excited for this one because we got a lot of new stuff coming out this year. And I'm doing this with Sovereign Markets with Diana Rose. She does her farmers market every Saturday from 10 to 3 at the Long Island Railroad Laurelton Station. So, you know, we always do the night markets together. So we're getting that done. For Juneteenth, it's going to be on the Monday from 4 to 10 p.m. You can go to JuneteenthNightMarket.com. So easy. I don't know how we were able to get that URL. JuneteenthNightMarket.com to register and come. And I think those are the two things. My son is nice. He's an actor, so he's in Annie, and that's coming up at PS 176. He's always in the school play, so that's coming up on June 17th. This is show at PS 176. It's open to community. Let's show these kids some support. So those are the three things I'm looking forward to right now.
Nice. No, that's incredible. Real quick, talk about. No, I was going to say that. So real quick, I want to talk, if you can, in like, you know, a minute or two, a few short minutes. How do you feel, or how does your son look at you with all of the things that you're doing, all of the accomplishments, right? Like, what is his feelings about you and everything that you're doing, if he expresses them, if you can share?
You know, I don't even think he's aware. Obviously, he's 9, but I think that's just his life. Like, I don't think he sees it as anything small. Like as I'm saying, I'm in the middle of an interview and he's like, "Can I have this chocolate?" Because like, like I think it's something that he probably will look back on. But I think right now he doesn't know anything else. Like he's been with me. Like I said, he was at the march on his dad's shoulders, right? I remember when I used to sing background for a lot of artists, I would put him in the car seat. I would pull the curtain a little bit and I would stand there and I would sing my song, right? So he's always just kind of been with me. It's a part of his life. Like everything else. If you ask him if he's a member of BlaQue Resource Network, he's going to tell you yes, right?
Of course he is.
I'm an active member of the BlaQue Resource Network. He doesn't even have Facebook. But he's like, he comes home like, "Hey, my teacher and these 2 other teachers said they need 2 neighborhood shirts in the white and the black writing, and I told him to go to Black Label Apparel." So you can't tell me. And he's a founding member, and that's I think it's just his life. He doesn't know anything different. So this is just standard for him, and hopefully he can continue that and keep building on the work that we've started.
Nah, it's incredible. I mean, you know what they say, man. You show a child the way, man, and
Yeah.
more often than not, they follow that. Even if
Yeah.
they deviate, eventually they come back.
Yeah.
They come
Yeah.
back to that,
They
and
take something from it.
they take something from it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yo, if you got some lasting words, some words
Yeah.
of encouragement, words of inspiration
Yeah.
for the people, for all who will watch this interview.
Sure. So I'm gonna say Black people, Black people in Queens. If you're not a member of the BlaQue Network, BlaQue, BLA is for Black, QUE is for Queens. Please join. I know our focus tends to be mainly in Southeast Queens, just because there are a lot of Black people here. But I need people to bring me into other parts of Queens, because I know that they might not have the community hugging them the way we have. I know the way we have in Southeast Queens. They're not surrounded by Black businesses and Black culture the way we are in Southeast Queens, and they need somewhere to come to, and they need somebody helping them with that. So please, especially people who are in other parts of Queens, Far Rockaway, Long Island City, Queensbridge, I don't care, Kew Gardens, Flushing, wherever the Black people are, please, you're welcomed in the BlaQue Resource Network. And, help us to identify how we can help the communities that are not as saturated, but Black people still live there. So please join the BlaQue Resource Network. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Or look me up. I'm not hard to find, and let me know how you would like to be a part of the group. Let me know how we can help you in your communities. Invite me to your community events. Tag me in your community posts. Send me calendar invites for what you got going on, and it really helped me. I need your help getting my message out to other parts of Queens. So and thank you to Sugar Ray for always thinking about me and always coming out to Southeast Queens. I don't know if that's how that traveling is for you, but you're always active out here, and please bring me up there too. And
Of course.
And that's it.
Of
And
course.
thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for sharing with me, sharing your space. And yeah, I'm here.
Of course. So you know what's funny? So I'm originally from Southside. I was born in 109 157. My grandfather came from Kingston. He fought in World War II, and then bought a house in South Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, nice.
Right? My dad was from Atlanta, moved to New York, bought a house in Hollis.
Yeah.
Right. So that's my hood originally.
Oh, good to know.
So that's number one why I'm always out there.
Yeah.
That's number one. Secondly, is obviously because of the group, because of the great people out there who I love, who I know, who I love. And I want to bridge the gap, right? Because too often, like even in my youth, like there was beef. Like my friends in Queensbridge hated that I was in Southside. My friends in Southside hated that I was in Queensbridge, right? So there was beef that I had to sometimes mend between my friends, right? And sometimes I got caught up in beef in Southside because they see me on the bus like, yo, he's got to be in Queensbridge, let's get him. And like craziness.
People are like so tribal to the point of ridiculousness sometimes, and I understand being tribal, but sometimes it's a little silly.
No, absolutely. So that's why I love it. But we have a lot going on here in West Queens, Queensbridge, Long Island City. I will definitely let you know more what's happening this week alone. Like tomorrow, I'm showing a short documentary about my hunger strike at City Field.
Yes.
Thursday is not in Queens. I'm going to City Hall representing Queens.
Yes.
To speak at a rally for Community Land Trust.
Yes.
Saturday in Queensbridge, we're doing an event. I'm launching a 2-part series, the Queensbridge Healing Experience.
Yes.
First part, Saturday, is the impacts of gun violence.
Yes.
So there's always things happening. We do a weekly grief support group on Thursdays at the community center. Always things happening. I'm looking for a studio right now for the show to do live studio audience. So it's mad stuff happening. It's mad ways to collaborate. Appreciate you, Aleeia. Thank you so much for your time. Yo, everybody, man, your boy LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston here with the Sugar Ray Show. An incredible discussion with Aleeia Abraham, digital marketer, social organizer, founder of the BlaQue Resource Network. She is so much, she does so much, she brings and she shares so much, and we're grateful for her. As always, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We all we got, but we all we need. Peace and love. Appreciate you. Salute.
Later.